Welcome to Artscape. I'm your host, Bill Harris, and we have a great show for you today. With me today is local artist Tracey Clarke. Tracey, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So before we get into your amazing, amazing paintings, which I love, let's learn a little bit about you. You're not from this area, right?
No, I grew up in the Tidewater area, so pretty close.
Okay. Tell us your early beginnings in art. I know I read on your website that you carried around a little binder of horses when you were little. I did.
I was a typical in love with horses little girl, and so I would get books from the library and then take them home and copy them.
How old would you be?
Oh, 6 or 7, 8.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was singularly focused on horses at that point in my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So 6, 7, 8, you're drawing horses, always in art through middle, high school?
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't until I got into high school that I had a great art teacher who really encouraged me. She saw something in me and really encouraged me to pursue art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after high school, you then go to
Atlanta College of Art.
Atlanta College of Art.
Right.
And how was that?
It was great. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
It was, equally kind of difficult and good at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now at this point, are you still interested in horses and animals, or was it all different things?
No, it's pretty academic at that point. I
Yeah.
didn't really have a set focus of.
So do you think also at this point you're going to be an artist, or do you think?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the end game here? This was what you wanted to be?
This is what I wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So what happens then? You graduate college?
I left school and, didn't do art. I became a veterinary technician, did that for 10 years. And when I married Craig, my husband, he really encouraged me to leave my job and to do art full time.
That's sort of interesting that, as a little girl you're drawing horses. You go to college, then you go into veterinary.
Right.
And now you're drawing animals. They're
Right.
always... So what is it about animals?
Animals to me are, that's a good question. They just have I think a presence about them and an otherness about them that I really will particularly prefer over painting the figure, doing people.
Yeah.
I've always just loved animals and been drawn to them. So.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you ever go in to do any figurative things or landscapes without animals?
Well, sometimes landscape. I like to do some abstract landscapes occasionally, but doing this work is really what I love.
Yeah, that's impressive though that you stuck with the animals.
Yeah.
All these years from a little kid.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a home studio?
I do.
Yeah. How often do you paint?
Most days.
Yeah, most days, every day?
Most days, every day, even if it's just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because we had talked earlier about your paintings. They take quite a while.
They do.
How long does one of your average paintings take?
Oh, boy. It takes several months, depending on, but I also rotate several paintings sometimes at one time, and I'll have a few that are starting that are, so.
Right. Now, these are in oils, right?
Yes, oil.
And is that do you do anything other besides oils, or?
That's my primary medium.
Yeah, me too.
Choice.
I love oils.
Yeah.
Well, what is it about oils that you love so much?
Well, I think the argument that the quality that you get with oils is, it just can't be compared to other mediums.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I know a lot of people don't like the drying times and things like that. Actually, I like that. I like being able to paint a little bit, get away from it, and then come back. And I always sort of see my mistakes. So what influence did you have in art? What are the other artists that you...
Well, early on, anything surrealistic. I love surrealism and realism.
Magritte, somebody like that. You can certainly see that.
Yeah.
Now, you paint every day. For how many hours a day do you paint?
A maximum for me with this kind of work, because some of it's so detailed and tedious, 4 to 5 hours a day is maximum I can do.
You're a morning painter? Or
I like to think I'm a morning painter.
Yeah, get up here for a few hours.
Yes, yeah.
I think I'm sort of the same way. After 6 hours, I'm done. I can't do anything after 6 hours. That's about it. Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit more about the paintings a little bit later, but there's something a little, I don't want to say dark about them, but there's certainly something dark about them.
Sure.
I'm sure you get that a lot.
Sure.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Do you see them that way?
Well, later we'll talk about, but I do. I do kind of have some themes that are running through the paintings that are a little dark and maybe with some struggle and trauma a little bit. Sure.
Always, or is it sometimes you have nice ones and
No, well, I don't think any of them I would call particularly nice,
right.
but yeah, it just I'm more drawn to things that are serious, I think. And
do you think that's sort of cathartic? You know, you just sort of...
Yeah, in some ways.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you think that, without being too personal, do you think that sometimes you could substitute your own feelings?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that happens a lot without you really knowing that.
So, yeah, I agree, and I know I do the same thing. I think that's interesting for people that aren't that familiar with art to look at it that way. You know, some people may look at it just as other animals. But I think if they look at it as, you know, human emotions and things like that, I think that's more interesting, and I think they'll probably be drawn to it a little bit, or make a better connection to it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I noticed that often, you know, with the land animals, there's also birds in it. You see that sort of a combination. Not all of them, but a lot of them have a land animal plus a winged creature in it. What do you think that's about?
There's something about pairs for me, and I don't know why I choose birds a lot of the time for those pairs, or, you know, like, I guess like that painting over there. I don't know, I just love birds. There's something about them that's
but it's always interesting. You have a sort of a land creature, often a big creature, with a smaller bird.
I don't guess I've ever noticed that.
Is that
right? Well, yeah, it's not on purpose, I don't think. Yeah.
That's funny. There's something about that I really like. You know, I guess it creates some balance. What is it about the pairings, you know?
That's a new thing for me. I think early on I did a lot of sort of solitary subject matter, and I don't know, there's something about relationships that are bonding or togetherness that I like about putting two animals together or three animals together. And
sort of animals that are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because often they're animals you wouldn't necessarily see together.
Right. Yeah.
How do you decide what you're going to paint? We'll get into that a little bit more later, but you just say, hey, look, it's time to do, I'm interested in maybe doing a deer painting, or I think I want to do birds, or they just strike you randomly? Yeah,
well, sometimes I have a word that'll come to me and it'll have an image with it. Sometimes I'll see something and it'll kind of trigger some sort of image of a painting that I might want to do. It's pretty random how it happens.
Do you think sometimes the trigger may be something not animal related, but then you sort of through your prism will make it sort of an animal? Okay. Hey, well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk more with Tracey about her specific paintings. We'll be right back with Artscape.